just launched a crowdfunding platform for the music industry in the UK.
Oh, fantastic.
And
What's that called?
it's called Stereotribes.
Oh.
Stereotribes.com.
So say it again. What does it do? It's a platform.
It's a crowdfunding platform for the
musicians.
music industry. Yes, for musicians. Yes.
Wow.
That and other startups as well. Some in technology and engineering, and also a startup in Haiti of all places, focusing on converting petrol-driven taxis to LPG.
Wow.
Huge problems with pollution and so on
Wow.
in Haiti, and that has been a very interesting project for the World Bank.
Oh.
So yeah.
Oh, we've got to talk more about all this. This is absolutely fascinating because you're still setting up. Are you rolling?
Yeah, it's rolling.
Oh, you're rolling.
Okay, all right.
All right. Well, we'll talk about more
Sure.
about LPG in Haiti and all that after the interview. But look, let's start. Peter, could you just please start by saying your name and your organisation and your position?
Sure. My name is Peter Hansen, and I'm the Global Business Director for MuslimFace.com.
Tell us a little bit about Muslim Face. When did it start, and how quickly has it grown?
Okay. First of all, MuslimFace is a social network platform predominantly for Muslims. And we soft launched in September last year, and within a month and a half we already had 300,000 users. The aim is to have about 10 million users at the end of this year, and in 5 years' time around 220 million users, about 12% of the entire Muslim population in the world.
Tell us a little bit about how you're monetizing this, and how soon you think you could break even on Muslim Face.
Okay. The business model is based around digital advertising, of course. We want to tap into the $2 trillion US dollar halal industry and get them as advertisers. Sidebar ads, they will have their own pages on Muslim Face where they can advertise and promote their goods and services and so on. And you need to cut here because I forgot the rest of the question.
The break-even time frame.
Break even, we think, will be towards the middle of the second year.
Okay. What was your rationale for setting up Muslim Face? What was the niche in the market that you saw?
Okay. We saw that there was or is a general discontent with the current social networks. Muslims are exposed sometimes to ridicule and other things, which is not entirely fair, and so that was basically why Muslim Face was born. I myself, I'm not a Muslim, but I have worked with Muslim businesses and the Muslim community for more than 30 years. So I know what's going on, really. And so we saw that gap in the market and went for it.
Mm-hmm. Have you encountered any resistance from any quarters?
Not at all. And we are somewhat surprised that that's not the case. Especially from Facebook, I suppose, because we are in a way going head on with them. But really, we are predominantly for Muslims, so it's a slightly different platform. For example, it includes prayer times, it includes also you can track where you are on your mobile app, and for example look up where there might be a halal food joint and other things. So while we have competition, we think actually we also differentiate.
have you also encountered any resistance from, dare I say it, more conservative elements within the Muslim community who perhaps say that this encourages types of behaviour that
Yeah.
maybe some people don't
Yeah.
approve of?
Yeah, yeah. No, we haven't actually, but we have been well aware from the outset that such things could occur. And so we have taken certain measures to make sure that we are not becoming a platform for any untoward and undesirable activity. In fact, we make quite a big deal out of that.
Let's talk a little bit about funding.
Yeah.
So tell us roughly how much you raised as seed capital to get things going, and how easy was it to raise it? Where did it come from? And what are your funding needs now, and where you see that money coming from?
Sure, okay. The first question is an easy one because we have funded the rollout, the development of the platform and everything else up to date by own means. And we are now looking for stage 1 funding, around 1.2 million US dollars. And that's predominantly to make sure that we can increase our server capacity so we can also handle 10 million users initially. We also need to gain some more traction, spend some money on PR, media and so on. We might need another 2 million in a year or so. We will see how fast we gain traction, and then we will take it from there. But that's something we make investors aware of upfront so that they know what they're up for. How easy is it to get money? Not particularly easy, I would say, but we have a very good strategy and a very good business plan. So I think we are very confident, in fact, that we can reach our targets.
You've raised capital for startups in many different parts of the world.
Yes, I have.
How does trying to raise money in this part of the world compare to doing the same thing in more developed markets like Europe or
Okay.
the US?
Okay. The US is the easiest market because that's where it all started with venture capital, angel investors and so on. The European market is a bit more conservative, I would say. They have been a little bit reluctant in embracing it. And I'm actually quite surprised to see what I have seen here today in Turkey, that it is really being embraced and encouraged, and that's very nice to see.
And what is it about the environment here, do you think, that's changing and that's encouraging investors in particular to become a little bit more adventurous?
Yeah. First of all, in Turkey, there is a young population, and that makes it easier. It's easier to change the mindset, and I think that's a key reason, really. Plus, also, technology and so on is booming here, and that makes it easier. If there is an inventor story that's successful, then that helps an awful lot, and there are a few of them.
I mean, we've had a couple of big exits from this part of the world, from Turkey itself, just over the last 5 years or so. Are you seeing that momentum growing now in terms of more entrepreneurs being encouraged by the success of things like Yemek Sepeti, for example, and investors then also becoming more encouraged by that? Do you find that this momentum is starting to build?
Yes, very much so, and that's what I sort of referred to just a moment ago with the success stories. They help tremendously to build that momentum.
Great. Furkan's going to take a couple of other